You are welcome to this channel. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe to our channel, Wike is in the news. I challenge anyone to come forward with documents of the compensation who said is Ezekiel Dalhatu. The Federal Capital Territory Minister Yeson Wike has claimed during the recent media chat that the FCT administration has paid land compensation to acquire Paduma Community's territory, but residents refuse to vacate the area despite receiving payments. Ezekiel Dalhatu, chairman of the National Peace Committee in the FCT, has strongly disputed these claims, challenging authorities to produce documentation proving compensation was paid to the community. Speaking during an interview with Channels TV, Dalhatu directly contradicted the minister's statements while maintaining respect for Wike's office. It is a wrong narrative all through, Dalhatu stated, and I'm sure the Honorable Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike, that I respect so much, will not have been properly briefed, maybe by the directors and all of that. The Peace Committee chairman questioned the logical inconsistency in claims that compensation was paid while residents remain on their land. Dalhatu issued a direct challenge to FCTA officials to provide evidences supporting the minister's claim, and I challenge anyone to come forward with the documents of the compensation. He declared, government is not a charity organization. If it gives you a deal, it will have its record, the names and persons, and then the amount paid to them, and reason for the payment. Let it be laid to the public. There is no such document I can tell you for free, especially with Paduma, he asserted. He explained the broader pattern of land acquisition disputes affecting indigenous communities across the FCT, describing how conflicts typically ensue when developers claim they have been allocated lands that are being used by indigenes for farming. Dalhatu noted how affected communities speak on their economic dependence on the disputed lands during these encounters. This is where our economic activity all lies, and so for you to take it away, just as it is enshrined in the Land Use Act, you pay some form of compensation, he said, describing the community's position. However, the chairman criticized the inadequate nature of compensation typically offered, revealing that payments cover only economic trees rather than comprehensive resettlement support. He provided specific examples of the minimal compensation rates, emphasizing their inadequacy for families whose livelihoods depend on the land. Dalhatu explained that the compensation is like 2,000 naira or 1,000 naira per tree, and this amount is being paid to take a person away for life from the same ground where he forms the farms to feed his family. Well, this issue of land acquisition, nobody is disputing the fact that the government owns the land. But like I always say, that I'm an advocate of human face in every situation. The government ought to make sure that they show human face at all times. But it's a pity in this country. Sometimes we blame the government. We forget that we ourselves are the government. If they begin to investigate this matter now, it might be a reality that by book that they have been compensated, but in real sense, those officials might have, allowed Nigeria to happen even onto the money, thereby buying, a tree for 2,000 naira. So if they have just 400 trees in that place now, it's going to be 800,000 naira for their land. In FCT, a high-brow area, the Federal Capital Territory, I think there are certain things that we need to just put in perspective. I want to advise Nyesom Wike to please try as much as possible, even after being briefed about something, behave like a Fashola in those days when he was a governor in Lagos State. Go out yourself at night. Go and do on the spot assessment. Go and get the feeler of the people. You can also raise your own private team that can always go around to go and check and verify every information that trickles in even onto your table. It is very, very important. The rules are made for men. Men are not made for the rules. So why will the people who own the land will die because the government want to take over the land in order to beautify the city or to expand the FCT and to bring in more resources. You don't kill the indigents, you don't kill the people, whether indigent or not indigent. Their presence in that land gave value to that land. It also brought life into that land and brought activity on it too. But for you to now want to take those things away from these people, where do you expect them to start from? I think what the man is even speaking to, we need to also, of course, extend it and expand it very well. If the government is going to acquire anybody's land, they should pay resettlement compensation. They should be able to take them to another place where they can be comfortably settled. You don't just hand over stipends to people, or you give them, let's say, even truly speaking, they gave the value for the land. It's not enough, because the price of things and inflation and every other thing will affect the money in the long run. And if peradventure where you are moving them from, the property was already built and it's their source of, encouragement, and they also use the land for farming as a means of livelihood. If you now say you have compensated them, where do you expect them to start from? With what you give as the value for the land be enough for them to buy another land, then build a new house, and then begin to work on other areas? These are some of the things that our leaders need to continue to allow to ring within their mind. It is very, very important. I love the fact that Mr. Dalhatu, respectfully discussed the matter and said he really, really respects former Governor Nyesom Wike. This is very, very good. I think we are expecting a return of a good gesture, even from some Wike too. Let him walk his talk as he has been doing before. But when it comes to showing human face, I think Wike will be scored low there. And he needs to, up his game. Very, very important. Because whether we like it or not, life is transient. And also power too is the same thing. It's not permanent. It's temporary. Example, in the next 2 years now, he will not be a minister anymore, except Governor Tinubu wins again and he wants him to continue as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Anything beyond that or away from that, of course, that means that's the end for Wike for some time. So he needs to remember all those things, and they should please see to the fact that if there are any erring FCT official that have one way or the other allow Nigeria to happen to the compensation of these people, it should be shown as a deterrent. It must be brought to book. And Mr. Wike should dot every I and cross every T and correct every wrong if there are any at all, so as to bring smile again to the face of the people of that community. Remember to like, to share, and also to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.